What time do we have?
4 o'clock.
I have exactly 4, Richard.
Okay. All right, I can't find my outline on what I'm supposed to say, but that's all right. How's everybody doing?
Good, thank you.
Okay. Do we know whether Marie is going to be joining us?
Maria's at an appointment right now. She will try to make it as soon as she can.
Okay, and Mark Sarah is with us. Shrewsbury Media Connection is with us. Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Pursuant to,
This conference will now be recorded.
all right, this is, good afternoon and good evening. This is the July 13th, 2021 meeting of the Shrewsbury Housing Authority. And this meeting is being held remotely pursuant to the allowances provided under the provisions of the open meeting law by Governor Baker and his executive orders. This particular meeting, for this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen or watch this meeting may do so by visiting https://global.gotomeeting.com/724553453. No in-person attendance of members of the public is permitted. Again, this is a remote meeting. In the event you are unable to participate or to communicate for the public comment portion of this meeting, which I will ask the executive director about in a minute, the number to call is 1-877-309-2073 with the following PIN access code of 724-553-453. Kelly, you have posted this meeting,
Yes, I have.
all the appropriate manners.
Yes, I have.
Okay, let me introduce myself then, as this is a remote meeting. I'm Richard Ricker. I'm the chairman of the Shrewsbury Housing Authority, and I will ask the members to please let me know if they are present. Do we have-
Richard, I think your sound just cut out again. I hear a background echo, but not you.
I don't know what that. You know that, that's me or something?
I hear the echo over you. It almost sounds like traffic or running water, like air through a fan or something.
Sounds like a toilet.
Yeah, some background fan noise.
Okay, well, it's not here. Do we have Mr. Campanella with us?
Present.
All right. Kathy McSweeney?
Present.
Ed Anderson?
Present,
All right. And as far as staff, who do we have? Do we have Kelly Bergeron?
Present.
And is that it, Kelly? Do we have any other staff attending?
We do not.
All right. And is this meeting going to have any input by the public?
I hear you.
Is this meeting going to have any input by the public?
Unless someone calls in, I don't have nobody on the agenda.
Okay. I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit, Paul, see if maybe that will help. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so with that done, we have the motion.
Mr. Ricker, I'd make a motion to approve the June 8th remote minutes as printed.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? There being none, we'll do this by roll call vote. Mr. Campanella,
Aye.
Ms. McSweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Anderson,
aye.
and Richard Ricker says aye as well. So That being done, we'll go to the treasurer's report. Does the treasurer have anything to say about this?
Not, the very healthy balance is certainly on the, Central One and TD North accounts. We're at about 2.5, which is very healthy.
Anybody have any
Kelly, do you
questions?
have any update for us?
No,
Okay, anybody else have any questions, comments, or discussion? All right, there being none, we'll move on. Kelly, I'm showing 7 people on this.
so I have two. It's myself, it's my laptop and my desktop. And
Okay.
Kathy was showing double up there also.
Nope, she's not there, but Shrewsbury Cable is on, probably recording the call.
Okay. Okay, so,
Mr. Ricker, I would like to make a motion for the, oh, no, I'm sorry, you've got to open for discussion. Never mind.
looking at the vendor accounting check register. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or discussion about it?
No.
$171,000. Anybody going once, going twice?
Nope.
No,
All
it's-
clear.
It's a big run, it's a high run, but, nothing jumps out at me as unusual. I mean, there's a $60,000 health insurance payment in there, which is, more than, a third of it, or about a third of it, I should say. So,
Right.
You back that out, it's a normal run. Kelly, that 60,000 is just that, is it health insurance?
It's health insurance for May, June, and July.
And life and long-term disability.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah, then, I mean, other than, I have no questions. If no one else does, I'll be glad to make a motion, Mr. Chair.
That fish project, 20434, we get reimbursed for that, right?
Yes, we do.
And has that happened yet?
No, once you guys sign off and do the check, then I submit it to CAPHM.
Okay, thanks.
And that fish project is for,
Lake Street, the patio.
okay. All right,
If you
so
take out the fish project and the health insurance, you're down to $100,000. Then it's a normal run.
Paul, you've made a motion, right?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to pay the check register for 51 checks totaling $171,248.97.
And we have,
Second,
thank you, Kathy. Okay, any other discussion? There being none, all in favor, we will take a roll call vote. Mr. Campanello,
Aye.
Kathy McSweeney,
aye.
Robert Anderson,
I,
Richard Ricker, aye, so that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Moving right along. We are now going to the, hold on a second here. You see the operating statements here, Kelly?
Yeah,
Okay, so we are, do you have anything that you want to say about the operating statements that are in here?
there's no deficits. This is for, hi Maria, this is for 4001,
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm late.
Section 8.
Anybody have any questions about these operating statements?
No, it's only 2 months in because we are now 3 months in, but this is as of June. January, February, March, April, May, June. So it's 2 or 3 months into our 1-year budget and everything's positive. So to me, I wouldn't expect to see anything too far off so soon in, but it looks good to me.
Well, what's our fiscal year, Kelly?
March 31st.
Oh, is this the end of year date or is this the first one?
This is as of April 1st. But this is prepared by James from June 28th. So yes, it's the 2 months as Paul was saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's a quarter of data, so it's not even. I wouldn't expect to see anything off, but it looks fine.
All right, fine. So we'll move on to the portability out.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion that we pay 2 checks in the portability out in the amount of $2,071.10.
Second.
All right, and we'll take this by roll call vote. Welcome, Maria Smith.
Just
you
look at it. Aye.
have an aye. And Mr. Campanella,
Aye.
Kathy McSorley,
Aye.
I,
Richard Ricker, aye. Okay, so now we'll go to the landlord and tenant check register for payments.
I'd like to make a motion for the HAP Section 8, account number 111, in the amount of $145,963.50.
Second.
963.50, you said, right?
I did, 145,963.5.
And Kathy seconded, so we'll do this by roll call vote as well. Paul Campanella,
Aye.
Kathy McSweeney,
Aye.
Maria Smith,
Aye.
Robert Anderson,
I,
and Richard Ricker as well. Thank you. Okay, and we have the payroll.
I'll make a motion. I have one question for Kelly. One of the standard employees was 1 hour off. Is that because he took an hour of PTO or vacation, or it just doesn't seem to make any sense? I don't want to do a name, but it's like 7 down on the first column.
No sick or vacation time left.
Say again, please.
No sick or vacation time left.
Okay.
Oh, you took a day off?
An hour. It's 1 hour, Richard. It's 39 out of 40. That's why it jumped off the page at me. Okay, all right. Yeah, then if that's fine, I'll make a motion for the payroll for June 2021 as printed.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. We'll do this by roll call vote. Paul Campanella, Paul,
Aye. You know what, Kelly? I will ask one more question. I see a little bit of overtime on some of the laborers. Is that based on unit turnarounds?
Yes.
Okay, that's all then. Paul Campanella, aye.
all right, Kathy McSweeney,
Aye.
Maria Smith,
Aye.
Robert Anderson,
I,
and Richard Ricker says aye. Okay. Okay, now we are into correspondence with managing supervisor relative to air conditioner policies. Kelly, do you want to say anything about that?
Yes. If you recall, last board meeting, Paul, do you remember when you asked about the air conditioners? Later that night, this policy, PIC notice 2021-10 came out. Indeed,
See, Kelly, I'm very, very smart.
you are. The HCD is strongly recommending that every local housing authority develop and implement a court-approved policy that addresses air conditioners. So instead of reading this whole policy, I did a sample one. And it just basically gives leeway from May 15th to October 15th. That maintenance will not install or take out air conditioners, that there would be a local contractor that does air conditioners. It would be Energy Star approved. They want to be blocking an egress, and that's more for Elizabeth Street. And it is the responsibility of the residents.
Who pays for the contractor?
The residents would pay for the contractor.
So, Kelly, I have a couple of questions here. It's still funny the timing. I mean, also the hottest June on record or whatever it was, has nothing to do with this. But I'm playing devil's advocate and in parallel advocating for the tenants. Why wouldn't we want to do what we've been doing, which is we do it ourselves? Is there some liability associated with us dropping an air conditioner off the 6-story tower and rushing some elderly lady taking her groceries into her car below? I mean, is it just that, or is there? I mean, because to me, I would love to think this is a value add that we can do and we can afford, and it doesn't cost us anything other than maintenance guy's time. And like, I'm reading the policy saying, you know, you can't use any other material, but it must be secured. I think probably every one of us that's ever put an air conditioner in a window knows that sometimes you do need to use a piece of wood or a barrier. And so I feel like this is stirring up hornet's nest for decreasing value that we had, not increasing. That's my 2 cents. I don't want to speak for Richard or Kathy or Maria or anyone else, but I'd love some thought behind this.
Well, my first impression is, why would we want to put our residents already to additional expense?
You cut out again, Richard. Say that again. Your first impression is, why would we what?
Why would we want to put our residents to additional expense? Still afford it.
And I think it's going to be a hardship for them to find an HVAC guy in April or May that's going to be able to install it. It took me.
Kathy, that's gonna walk come and do a 1-hour job. Yeah, let me come to your building in the middle of my day and do a 1-hour job in a window. I agree completely, Kathy.
For $95. So
Well, I don't think our people can. A lot of our tenants can't afford it.
That's correct.
Can you help us with the rationale behind this?
I
Government
can.
operation, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, this is what this feels like to me.
And I also feel like, who do you trust more to make sure that it's done right than the guys that have been doing it and know our window?
Completely agree, Richard. Now, I get the liability argument, but like, I'd rather have one of our guys working in one of our units, putting a window in, than some guy that says, I'll take my $80 and leave and not care. Then have it fall and squash somebody.
Let's face it, if something fell out of a window, we're gonna get sued anyway.
Right. Even if it's the contractor, they're coming after us. That was my first thought. Correct.
Kelly, you're up.
Help us, Kelly. Help us.
So that's why I did the sample policy. I was following the DHCD guidelines, and it basically said because of liability and workload reasons, DHCD recommends that LHJ maintenance staff avoid installing and removing air conditioners. We've been doing it all along. I want to say last year or the year before.
The year before,
We tried having a contractor. That didn't work out. My guys feel comfortable doing it. They've been doing it all along. We just want the board's approval. Yeah, we would be going against DHC guidelines in a policy.
So, understood. My thought on that is I read it and it says recommends. It doesn't say mandates. If
All right.
we're going to push back, as far as I understand, we are still the governing policy board of this housing authority, and we can make a recommendation. We can make a policy not in line with a recommendation. It's a recommendation, not a mandate. And third, I would much rather pay an hour of overtime to one of our own guys, if it even needed overtime. Not that I'm saying we would, but to my rationale, I'd rather pay an hour of overtime than have one more check on the register for $95, whether it's coming from us or a tenant. It's the same pool, and we can certainly afford that. I mean, if they're recommending we develop a policy, I would love to see Kelly develop a policy that essentially says, call maintenance, open a ticket, 48 hours, they'll close it out. I mean, I'm simplifying it for discussion, but that's the policy I'd like to see. That's my 2 cents on this. And I saw it, and I couldn't possibly comprehend it. So that's my 2 cents.
I agree with Paul, and I also.
and I second that.
I also.
I'm sorry, Richard, I cannot hear you.
Richard, your mic keeps cutting in and out, in and out, and in and out. And when it's not in, it's that fan sound or something.
I'm getting that fan sound here too, but it's not my computer. I don't know where it's coming
Mr. Chair, while you're working on your sound, may I add something?
Yeah.
One thing I think we might want to have in here, based on what happened in Cambridge, is we've got some specific dates, May 15th and August 15th. And I think we might want to add at the discretion of the executive director. We have a heat wave in October, we need to keep them in, or, so I don't want to have something written in stone where if by some fluke it's 90 degrees on October 15th, we're going to take all these out.
I agree.
Completely agree, Ms. McSweeney.
Thank you.
And that can be in Kelly's I'd like to see Kelly come back with a policy centric that basically puts in writing that we're going to do it the way we've been doing it, including what Kathy just said and others, right?
Subject to certain conditions.
With the approval of the executive
Things
director.
important. Right, and it is, they do say that we can have a different policy for each place. So at Elizabeth, maybe it needs to be slightly different based on how the windows and the hallways are there. So
I think there definitely should be conditions to this, and I think we all know what they are. The bottom line is, we need residents to operate within the West. Should be reasonable hours, and shouldn't be calling up after hours and asking for this.
Right. That's why I said, whatever Kelly's standard ticket is, whether it's 48 hours or 72 hours, open a ticket and Kelly will respond within X hours and the work will be done within X hours. And those can each be 24, 48, 72, whatever Kelly deems operationally appropriate. And I think that's well within our needs. So if there is a heat wave and it catches us unexpectedly, sure, we'll do our best, but we're not incumbent to have someone come in at night or whatever. But yeah,
Are you okay with that, Kelly?
I'm okay with that.
to me, this is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I do have no issue putting a policy.
Absolutely. So why don't we table this and come back at a future meeting? Robert, did you have anything else you wanted to say about that?
I do. I just want to keep the sample request form. I really like that. And that could go with the work orders, the sample request one. But I will put all that before.
Take out the fifth line where it says contracted to install. Other than that, I think it's fine.
Right, I'll take that out.
Does anybody else have any comments or questions about that?
No,
Okay, we'll move on then. Thank you. Vacancy report. Kelly.
Been a very busy month and this is just only half of it. As you see, the first one will be coming from Auburn, veteran's widow.
That's great.
The second one will be coming from Webster, which is a veteran.
Also great.
Third one is a local resident,
Yay.
Elizabeth
Hey,
Street.
can I say yay on a televised meeting? I feel like we go in ebbs and flows with these. I feel like we get a bunch that we are not pleased with, speaking for myself, and then a bunch that we feel like should be in our lane. So this is great.
Elizabeth Street, no vacancies. Family unit, it's in the champ screening, and Shirley is on her second pull list. And that is going through almost 50 applicants, which is families. And then we will have a couple of more coming up.
Okay.
So the one thing I will say, Kelly, is that if your math stays linear, we are at a breakneck pace because we average, call it 10 to 12. I see a low of 8 and a high of 16 and a 12 and a 15. So we average 10 to 12 units a year blended based on those numbers on a blended average. We are 3 months in right now and we've already had 6 vacancies. That's really, really high, at least in my back of the envelope math.
Very high. And with summer and the guys going on vacation, doing outside lawn work, that's why you see they have.
It's the overtime. Yep, totally get it. Totally get it. Yep, that's fine.
Okay. And you did mention the Towers as a Shrewsbury resident?
Yes.
That's great.
Shrewsbury.
So
The
we
town,
had 4 fills this month, 4 vacancy and 4 fills, 2 Shrewsbury residents, 2 veterans / veteran widow. That is fantastic.
That's a win-win.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
All right, Section 8 program, Kelly, still fully
100%. Fully leased.
very good. Good job. Social services. Assistance report.
Shirley has seen 37 people this month. For June, I'm sorry, for June.
That's up.
Well, 5 of them are move in, move out, so.
Yeah.
Same with the apartment numbers up. It's all correlating, yeah.
Kelly, what does she do for move in, move out? What does she do?
So if somebody is moving into, say, assisted living, and they can't take all their apartment furniture with them, you would call around or help them call around, like to the Salvation Army or someplace that would take their used furniture. If somebody's moving in, same thing, if they do not have furniture, you will call around to find places that will donate. If somebody passes away in this furniture, she reaches out to the family members. There's a lot of that she does regarding move in, move out. She gives them packets. She talks about apartment insurance, which we try to express to everybody that they should have apartment insurance. And she does home visits.
I imagine she was over the policies, like no smoking policy and all that other stuff with the new tenants, right?
Shirley and Jennifer both do. Jennifer for here and Shirley for state projects. When they meet with somebody, they normally sit with that person from a half an hour to an hour, and they go over every single paper. And the prospective resident needs to sign off on that.
Do we have any old business to deal with? Anybody else?
Yeah.
Who's on the social service report? Anybody else? Kelly? Old business?
I can't hear you.
Any old business?
No.
Well, I'm gonna have to get you over here sometime.
So I was gonna wait to make a suggestion once we were done recording, but maybe I don't have to. Maybe I was being too cautious. Kelly, could we, for purposes of Shrewsbury Housing and Communications, could we have Vinny take a look at his computer and see if there's an issue? I would certainly be okay with that because it's consistent, Richard, and it's always the same sound issue. And maybe there's something wrong. And if this is the machine that you use to communicate with us, I have no issue having Vinny spend a half hour or an hour looking at it and troubleshooting. I was going to wait till we were off to do that.
I don't have a real issue with that, but I gotta tell you, this is the only group, and I do a lot of it. This is
So all the more reason to justify Vinny looking at it in my mind. So that's fine.
This is the only group I have a problem with.
In which I can pick up your computer and have Vinny come here, or Vinny can go to your
No.
office.
Is it because of the platform we use though? Because do you use a different platform for your other meetings, Richard?
I use GoToMeetings and I use Zoom.
And what is this? This is GoTo, right?
This is GoToMeeting.
Okay.
So I use Zoom and Teams extensively and never have a problem. I use GoTo occasionally, rarely, like this and a few others, but I don't have a problem. But are you on a laptop or a desktop, Richard?
Laptop.
And that makes even less sense, unless it's looking for a headset or something like that. My only thing is it might be looking for a Bluetooth connection or a headset when we hear that echo sound. That's what I'm.
We can probably hold off on that because aren't we meeting live in September? And in the event that we're not able to, then I think we need to get Vinny involved.
Kathy, great idea. I wasn't even thinking of that. You're right.
Let's like September 1, do a test, and if we can't hear, we gotta get Vinny out there ASAP, if we can't meet in person.
All right, well, if this is our last remote meeting, I want to thank you all. Is there any new business?
Is that our plan that we're gonna go live in September
That is our present plan.
at 5 p.m. then, back to the 5 or 5:30? I don't even remember what it was.
Why don't we, how does everybody feel about 5?
How does everyone feel about what, 5 or 5:30? What did you say?
The earlier the better for me.
You say earlier, Kath?
Yeah, I can still, I don't know, I can do 4, but if that doesn't work for other people,
Well,
then,
it's a little tricky if I might be commuting or coming from somewhere, but 5 is fine with me. 5 is okay.
Well, then I would suggest, if it's okay with you, Kathy, and the rest of you, I would suggest we try for
okay, 5,
And we are talking about September 7th or 14th?
14.
Okay, at 5:30, did we just agree on?
5.
5.
5 p.m.
5, okay.
And at the towers, or are
Yes.
we going?
At the towers. We're going to start at the towers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Kathy McSweeney tour. I forgot about that. I also assume, it goes without saying, but we are officially agreeing that we're not having an August meeting per our usual model, correct?
Unless there's an emergency that.
Yeah, Kelly can always email or whatever, but we have yet to need one for the last 5 years.
And depending on the bills, maybe we could possibly do just a quick meeting next month, depending if there's any.
Manage it however you see fit, Kelly. If you want to do a quick phone call or a quick 20-minute, I don't think we can give approval outside of a meeting. I think that's the only issue. So if you need approval, we have to have a quick, but it could be a 5-minute phone call for the sole agenda purpose of the bills.
It can be a remote even. Okay,
Yes.
well, I'm sure we can struggle through that.
Okay.
So I'm
All
sorry,
right, Mr. Chair, if that's all, I'll give you a motion to dismiss.
and I will say before we take a second and vote it, I feel that I'm sorry. This is my system. I apologize. Yeah,
I agree.
it hasn't happened with any other meetings. So, do we have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second to close the meeting. I'll go down. Paul,
Aye.
Kathy,
Hi.
Marion,
Aye.
Robert,
I
and Richard says aye. Thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure being with you both.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
thank you, everyone.
September,
August.
maybe August.
Kelly, I'll leave now to come get the checks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Kelly,
Yes.
stay on, Kelly.
Wait.